Folks, I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the first episode of WAPTSS, aka We All Practice the Same Stuff. So, what's WAPTSS? Every other week, I'll be throwing down some technique or some routine for us to all practice together. Bro, I hear you asking, is this series for me, dog? Well, I'm so glad you asked, Beanie Guy. Who is this series for? Number 1, all levels. It doesn't matter if you're a day 1 guitar bro or a super guitar bro. This series is useful for everyone because of the metronome. More on that later. Number 2, peeps who don't know what to practice. Maybe you feel you would totally practice, but you just need some push in a direction. Well, bada boom! Here's your bi-weekly dose of guitar practice goodness. Number 3, peeps who like community. It can be a struggle to feel alone in our individual journeys. Knowing other people are putting in the work and grinding with you can be super encouraging. So, on top of following along with the series on YouTube, I've also started a Discord so we can all share our progress, achievements, and goals. Check that Discord link below. Alright, so what do we need? We only need 3 things. Number 1, a guitar. Any old guitar is fine. Electric, acoustic, classical. Whatever you've got lying around will do the job. Number 2, a metronome. There are many free apps that you can find for metronomes, or you can also just buy a physical one too. Number 3, a notebook. A physical notebook, a Word document on your computer, or just the notepad on your phone. These are all going to work great. Okay, now finally, what method will we use to practice? I like to use this thing called the 2-minute drill. So back when I was a dirty drummer, my drum teacher taught me this drill. To start, we're going to take our metronome and set it to a super slow speed. Our goal is to find the perfect speed. So I'll begin by trying to play whatever I'm practicing at that super slow speed for 2 minutes straight. And from here, we're going to get 2 paths. If at any point I make a mistake, I need to bump the metronome down even slower and start again. I do this until I can play the whole thing for 2 minutes perfectly. Whatever BPM you can finally play the whole 2 minutes perfectly at is your perfect tempo. However, if I played the whole thing perfectly the first time for 2 minutes, then I bump the metronome up. I continue to do this until I find the perfect speed that I can play it perfectly with no mistakes. Now that you have your perfect speed, I'd recommend doing 5 2-minute reps at that speed, taking a break between each rep for 1 minute. Now, before I get into the exercise for this week, I have a few more thoughts about practice. Number 1, always try to be completely relaxed in both of your hands. If you feel tense or stiff in either of your hands, then try slowing down the metronome again. Number 2, be intentional with your movements. For the full 2 minutes, try to focus on the movements that your fingers are making. Some questions to think about. Are my finger movements as simple as can be? Is my finger placement on the string consistent? Is my fingering always the same? Number 3, patience. Oftentimes we might practice for a few days and still not see much for results. And it's not uncommon to practice something for a week or more and only be a few notches up on the metronome. I understand we all want to play fast, but the worst thing you can do is bump up the speed and get impatient. Just keep it slow and enjoy the process. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, let's check out the first week's WAPTSS. Exercise 1, finger stroke burst. This exercise is great for developing speed in your fingers, as well as focusing on your right hand movement. Measure 1 will be playing 3 beats of 8th notes, and the 4th beat will be 16th notes. Measure 2 will be 2 beats of 8th notes and 2 beats of 16th notes. Measure 3 will be 1 beat of 8th notes and 3 beats of 16th notes. And finally, measure 4 will be 4 beats of 16th notes. Now, before jumping in, for your fingers, I'd recommend using your pointer finger and your middle finger for this exercise. Make sure that you alternate between each note. When you're playing, be sure to listen for even rhythm and even volume in your 2 fingers. You don't want one finger to be louder than the other finger. It's probably best not to worry about your left hand while practicing this, especially if you're new to fingerstyle guitar. I'd recommend just playing on the D string or the G string and just playing the open string. Of course, if you're more advanced and you're feeling spicy, go ahead and mix it up with the left hand. Just don't sacrifice right hand accuracy in the process. And finally, a link to the PDF of the exercise will be in the description. So, let's check it out. Folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of WAPTSS. If you're interested in following along with the series, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the Discord link below so that you can keep up with me and all the other homies. And let me know down in the comments if you're excited about the series, if you're gonna follow along, or if there's any exercises or routines that you want to see featured in a future episode. But that'll do it for this one. Take it easy and happy practicing.